Should I buy a DSLR like that or an action camera for live streaming? Well, today in this video, I'm going to quickly run through that and show you which one you should be buying, because there's differences in these and it will help you along your journey. If you want to set up a live stream and do some content, then you know what, you might want to just get a camera and plug it in and go straight ahead and start live streaming. There's multiple videos I've done on my channel to try and help you on that journey, but because of this focus on DSLR cameras, what does that mean? You got a little bonus swipe there for some reason. I think my effects are in play. So I'm doing this live at the moment. It's being recorded into OBS directly. So the idea here is what you're seeing now is an action camera. No, what you're seeing right now is a DSLR camera being used as a webcam, which is a Canon EOS webcam tool. And that's what this little picture up here you can see is. On top of this view here, I've put some action cameras down. I've been doing some testing with Apeman cameras, but I have some other cameras in here as well. I've tried to put them in a shape to make it look like a DSLR. I'm hoping that shows, but yeah, that's my little attempt at making a DSLR out of action cameras. So the moral of the story is, how much money have you got to spend? If you've got a nice budget, couple of £100, you could pick up a body. This is a 5D Mark II Canon body. You could probably pick that up for like £400 to £500 now, because they're fairly old. The lens will determine how good your quality is of your camera, because you want to be able to get good low light performance. I've got multiple lights on. That's a whole new kettle of fish. What would an action camera look like? Let me give you an example. I think there. So that is a Canon. No, that is a Panasonic camcorder. However, that sensor is very similar to, if I bring you back here, the Apeman A100. When I did a live stream, I put a bit of tape on there, so that looks a bit ridiculous there. But yeah, so that action camera would be an option for you to get decent quality. If you're not too worried about making it too cinematic and too fancy la-di-da-di-da with the background blur, which is that there, then you might be okay. There's been a number of tests I've done that different cameras and action cameras perform well. So if you're looking at this video to help you decide if you should get a DSLR or an action camera, then I think what you need to do is look at your budget, look at what type of content you're making, and see which one is better. Remember, if you're live streaming something that needs a lot of movement, as in if you're doing stuff, you might find the action camera is easier to move around, because you can set that up with a simple cable, such as a micro USB cable like that, and that can be plugged in and you can easily move the camera. Whereas the DSLR will need its own tripod. So once it's on a tripod, it's going to be static most of the time. And you can obviously, like you'll see every time I use that camera, it's straightforward in front of me. Whereas other cameras, I can easily move about and give you multiple angles. Like for example, that angle there, and then the multiple angles as well. So an Apeman action camera, if you were to get the A100, that's about £100-ish. £99.99. That's meant to be the best line in the camera, but compared to a DSLR, is no comparison. Your DSLR will be superior in quality. You can record it onto an SD card and go down the editing route where you use some software, or you can do what I suggest and make it a Canon webcam using the webcam tool, and then the camera is recording into OBS live and you take one shot at it. So what I'm doing now is recording it as one take. What you're hearing is what I'm saying. There's not any editing or pre-editing going on here. So this video will be ready to upload to YouTube. That's part of my workflow, which makes it easier to create multiple videos. So back to the question, should you buy an action camera? I think you should, because it extends your capabilities of having multiple angles. And if you get to a point that you're doing really well and your content's doing good and you've made some money from AdSense or monetization or sponsors, then you can actually use that to buy a DSLR and up your game, because you'll get something a bit more fancy and da-di-da-di-da-di-da. Hoping you found that useful, and I'll see you on the next video. There will be a playlist here. Actually, I'll link you to a video about how to make an action camera work for live streaming. So I'll see you on that video.